Hi, I'm Russell Brown, and for my Teach Me Something project, I decided to use the topic of nonverbal communication. I got the idea when I was sitting in my dance class waiting for it to start, and there was a bunch of loud music playing, and I started to realize that no one really was communicating verbally. They all were communicating through head nods and smiling, and they got me to think, how many other ways can people communicate with each other through their body language? And that is the reason why I chose this topic. I really found it interesting looking into nonverbal communication after watching Space Invaders, the video in week one. It talks about personal space and all that fun stuff, and I found it really interesting to see what a lot of nonverbal communication that happens when personal space is invaded. I thought that was really cool to look deeper into what it is to have nonverbal cues in really public spaces. To start off, there are 8 different types of nonverbal communication. There are facial expressions, gestures, paralinguistics, proxemics, body language, haptics, eye gaze, and appearance. Let's start with the first one, which is facial expressions. That's anything on your face that you're using to tell the other person your mood or how you're feeling. So if you're smiling, you're telling someone you're happy and you're in a good mood. If you're frowning, you're in a bad mood, you're sad. Or if you have a confused look on your face, you're most likely confused. It's using your face to have another person acknowledge how you're feeling. Second, we have gestures, which is anything from waving your hand to having your hand held out, or anything from counting 1, 2, 3. They're numeric. You're telling someone, you're giving a message through using your hands. You're counting, or you're telling them, wait 1 second, or you're waving, like, hey, I'm over here. Another form is paralinguistics. It has to do with verbal communication, but it is the underlying meaning behind what the message is. So if I'm asking you a question and I raise my voice, that raising my voice part is paralinguistics. It has to do with your tone of voice or the loudness. It is an underlying meaning within the message that is given. So if someone is using a very strong voice that's loud when they're telling you the message like, hey, take out the trash, that probably means they're really angry that you didn't take the trash out before. Body language is another form of nonverbal communications, and it signifies if you're interested in something. If you have your arms crossed, you're clearly not interested. If you're leaning, you're not interested. If you have great posture and you're staring them in the eye, they know you're intently listening and you really want to know what they're saying. Another form of nonverbal communication is proxemics. It's your personal space or the space you have between the person you're talking to or the crowd you're talking to. If I'm talking to someone, a good space is probably about 18 inches from the tips of my toes to the tips of their toes. If I'm talking to a crowd, I'm either going to be 10 to 8 feet away or 8 to 10 feet away, depending on the size of the group, because I want to be heard by everyone. And if I'm a foot in front of one person when I'm trying to talk to a group, it almost defeats the purpose of talking to the group. It's as if I'm talking to that one person. Eye gaze is another form of nonverbal communication. It will tell the person you're talking to if you are interested in what they have to say or not. If you're looking into their eyes, they clearly know you want to know or have an interest in what they have to say. If you're looking around, you're clearly thinking about other things, and that clearly says you're disinterested in whatever they have to say. And it is really important in communication between others. Haptics is another form of nonverbal communication, and it is the form of touch. If I'm consoling someone, I'm definitely going to put my hand on their back and rub it, and it lets them know that I want them to feel better, that I'm there for them. It is a form of communication because I'm telling them I'm here for them, but I'm clearly not saying it. My hand is on their back. Another form, or the last form of nonverbal communication is appearance. I put this nice blazer on so you guys think I was professional. I hope it worked. But if you were to see this guy, I'm sure he loves long walks on the beach and has 10 cats he loves to go home to every night. But if you were to see him on the street, it almost kind of directs you away. Appearance is one of the biggest forms of nonverbal communication. It is pretty much how I identify you, or anyone identifies anybody, because it's pretty much the first form of judgment that happens in anyone's head. I see the clothes you're wearing. Oh, you must be rich, so I'm gonna talk to you. Ooh, I see the clothes you're wearing. Uh, doesn't seem like I'm in your kind of lifestyle, so I'm gonna back away. Ooh, you stink. It looks like you haven't washed your clothes in about 10 months. I'm definitely gonna stay away from you. It's one of the biggest forms of non communication, and it expresses who you are as a person. If I wore a pink tutu every day to school, that would be my expression. I don't, it would say that I put myself out there, that I'm not normal, but it is a form of communication. And I bet you if there was another person that was like, ah, dang, I wish I wore my tutu to school, they would find that person attractive in a sense of, hey, maybe we should go hang out. I'm not saying nonverbal communication is always used by itself, but it is there to accent or complement or substitute your verbal language. So, by using a smile or a hand wave, I am exaggerating my verbal message. Hey, how's it going? Or, hey, come over here. I am exaggerating my verbal commands or comments. So, verbal communication seems to be a big thing with regular communication, and I feel like that is an essential part in the world around us, and I believe people should be informed of different ways that some message could cross someone even though they don't notice it. Just because you are interested and just comfortable enough to cross your arms in front of me doesn't mean I know you that well to know that you are interested in what I have to say. Because to me, it looks like you're bored and not interested. Nonverbal communication is essential in society today and is used countless times. Either it is recognized or it's not. But you never know if the other person noticed that you crossed your arms or that you looked up every now and then. But to them, it could send a message that you really don't want them to see yourself at. So remember, nonverbal communication is always there and it's not going away. So pick up on the cues, maybe learn a little bit, and really try to connect with the people you're talking to and understand what they really mean when they say it. I'm Russell from your sociology class, and that is the life lesson.